Alright, so in this video we'll be solving mathematics 1100 tutorial sheet 5 2025-2026 intake. So let's start with the first question. Okay, so here is our first question, okay, which reads compute explicitly the given quantity. Okay, yeah, let's compute this given quantity. Okay, so let's start with the first one. Alright guys, so this is our first part, right? Yes. So how do we solve such a problem? Well, we start with this 5 factorial. Yes. So what does 5 factorial mean? Well, 5 factorial simply means that we multiply 5 with each and every whole number that is less than it, not until we reach 1. Okay, what do I mean by that? Well, I mean we multiply it like this: 5 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 1. That is what 5 factorial simply means. Okay, what about for 3 factorial? Well, it's just one and the same thing. So we're going to multiply 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 1. Well, what about for 0 factorial? We need to take note of this, that 0 factorial is always equal to 1. Okay, but as you can see, this part is the same as this part. Okay, therefore this and this cancel. So 5 multiplied by 4, that is 20. So this is our answer. In other words, you can just say 5 factorial over 3 factorial multiplied by 0 factorial. So you're just going to say 5 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 3 factorial over 3 factorial multiplied by 0 factorial. What is 0 factorial? 0 factorial is 1. So this and this goes. 5 multiplied by 4, that is 20. Okay, so this is just one and the same thing. Okay, this is one and the same thing, guys. All right, let's move to the next question. This one, yes, how do we solve this combination? Well, we need to take note. Okay, yeah, we need to take note, guys, that what do we take note? We need to take note of the general formula. In other words, the foundation formula for combinations, right? So this is in the form of NR, right? Yes. So this NR can be written as, so this is the foundational formula for combination, is equal to N combination. So N combination over what? Over R combination. Then we have N minus R combination factorial, right? Yes. Let's take note of that, guys. Let's take note of that. So what is our N? Our N is simply this part. So we have our 12 factorial here over our R is simply 7. So 7 factorial. Our N is 12. So it will be 12 minus R, which is 7 factorial. Okay. Then we are going to say, so it will be 12 factorial. Then we're going to say 12 minus 7, that is 5. 5 what? 5 factorial, guys. Okay, so what is 12 factorial? Well, 12 factorial can also be written as 12 multiplied by 11 multiplied by 10, 9, 8, yeah, all the way up to 1 if you want. Okay, if you want, you can stop at 7 factorial here, because you also have got 7 down there, meaning that you are going to cancel them out. So 7 factorial multiplied by 5 factorial. So this and this goes, right? Yes. So on top there, I'll have 12 multiplied by 11 multiplied by 10 multiplied by 9 multiplied by 8, right? Yes. Over, what is 5 factorial? Well, 5 factorial, this 5 factorial, let me bring it here, right? So 5 factorial can be written as 5 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 1. 5 by 4, 20, by 3, 60, by 2, that's 120. So this is 120. So 5 factorial is simply 120, guys. Okay. Well, 12 multiplied by 10 is simply 120. So this cancels with this and this, right? Yes. Then you are going to say 11 multiplied by 9. Okay. 11 multiplied by 9, that should give you 99. Then you are going to say 99 multiplied by 8. That should give you 792. Okay, try to check, guys. Try to check. That should give you 792. All right. So we move to the next part. Okay. So this part. So how do we solve such a problem? Well, we simply start with finding the combination of this part, okay, which is inside. When we find the answer, we come and replace it. Well, right? Yes. So yeah. So have n r being equal to n factorial r factorial. So we need to be familiar with this formula, guys. Yeah, we need to be familiar with this formula. N minus r factorial. Okay, so we are going to get this part just. So we'll have 5 factorial over what is our r? Our r is 3, n is 5, r is 3 factorial. So we're going to have 5 factorial over 3 factorial multiplied by 5 minus 3, that's 2. 2 what? Factorial. Well, 5 factorial can also be written as 5 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 3 factorial. 3 factorial multiplied by 2 factorial. So this and this goes. So what do we remain with? Well, we remain with 5 and 4. So 5 multiplied by 4, that's 20. What is 2 factorial? 2 factorial is 2. Okay. Therefore, we are going to say 20 divided by 2, that's 10. Okay. So this part is equivalent to 10. Therefore, we're going to say so we're going to solve for the entire part now, right? Yes. So therefore, we're going to say 12 and 10 here. Okay. Then we find the combination of this. So this will be equal to n factorial. Yeah. We do the same thing. Okay. It should be equal to what? Well, this will be equal to what will be our n? Our n will be 12. What will be our r? R 10. So 10 factorial. N is 12. R is 10 factorial. Okay. Then we're going to say 12 factorial can be written as 12 multiplied by 11 multiplied by 10 factorial. Then here we've got 10 factorial multiplied by what? 12 minus 10, that's 2. 2 what? Factorial. So 2 factorial. This and this goes. Okay. Then 2 into 2, 1. 2 into 12, that's 6. 6 multiplied by 11, the answer is 66. So this is the solution for this part, guys. Okay. let's move to the next question. Guys. So the next question reads, if k and r are integers such that 0 is less than or equal to r, which is less than or equal to k, prove that this combination is equal to this part. Okay, so let's prove that this combination is equal to this part. Well, to prove, we are going to work with the right hand side. I don't know from your end if, yeah, this should be your right hand side, so we are going to work from our right hand side. Okay, but before we start solving this, let's simply remind each other. Okay, let's remind each other on the foundation formula for any combination. Okay, so what is the foundation formula for any combination? Well, this is the formula. Okay, so this is the formula, guys. This is the formula. Okay, then we've been given these two combinations, right? So we're going to apply this same formula. Okay, yeah, we are going to apply this on this part and this part. Okay, so that we come up with this one. So without wasting much of time, we are going to start, guys. Okay, we are going to start, and we'll be discussing some more details here, as we'll be proving this combination. Okay, so we're going to say for this part, what is our n? Okay, so for this part on, what is our n? Well, for this part, our n is this entire thing which is up there. So yeah, so we have this part and this, right? Yes, so for each we've got this formula. So n over r combination, yeah, r factorial n minus r, okay, minus what? N minus r. Okay, yes, so now we are on this part. What is our n? Well, our n is simply k plus 1. So our n is k plus what? Plus 1 factorial, right? Yes, over, well, what is our r, guys? Well, our r for this part is simply this one. In this case, it is r again, so it will be r factorial. Then our n, we come back to our n. What is our n? Our n for this part is k plus 1, right? This is our n. Minus what? Minus r. What is our r here? Our r is r again, so it will be minus r, right? Yes, guys. Okay, factorial. Minus, we come to this part. Well, what is our n? Well, our n for this part is simply k, so it will be k factorial over, what is our r for this part? Well, our r is this entire part, right? So it will be r minus 1 factorial, right? Yes, then we still have this part, right? Yes, what is our n for this part? This n, our n for this part is simply k. Okay, k minus what? Minus r. Okay, minus r. What is our r? Our r for this part is r minus 1. So minus r minus 1. Okay, yes, factorial. Okay, hope everything is clear, guys, on that one. Yeah, hope everything is clear, guys. Is everything clear, guys? Is everything crystal clear, guys? Well, let's proceed. Okay, so this is the same as this. So here we have our r factorial. So this can also be arranged as k minus r plus 1. Yeah, that's just one and the same thing. Minus we have this, and here we have this, and this part, right? Yes. So here we are going to have negative multiplied by r, that will be negative r. Negative multiplied by negative 1, that will be positive 1. Okay, yes guys, yes guys. All right, then we want this thing to be similar with this one, right? So in this case, we are simply just going to multiply this part, this entire part. Okay, the numerator and the denominator for this part, we are going to multiply it with r. Okay, so when we multiply this side with r, we're going to have, so in this case, for this part, it will remain as it is. So have r, so here have this. But for this part, when you multiply the numerator and the denominator with r, here on top we have this. Okay, then down here we are going to have, so when you multiply everything that is here with r, so we're going to have r. Yeah, we're going to have this, guys. Okay, hope you are following. Hope you are following. Okay, so now with that guys, we are going to, yeah, we're going to explain something. Yeah, I'm going to explain something actually. Yeah, with that. Okay, I'm going to explain something to you guys. Okay, so what do I want to explain? Well, this part is for the explanation, right? Yes, sir. Okay, and madam there. Yeah, you can see the madam seated on the couch, and the sir. All right, we proceed. So we proceed. Yeah, that was a commercial break. So now, when we have 5 factorial, okay, this 5 factorial, guys, can be written as what? This can be written as a 5 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 1. But we know that this part is the same as 4 factorial. Okay, meaning that 5 factorial can also be written as 5 multiplied by this entire part, which is equivalent to this, right? So 5 multiplied by 4 factorial. Okay, is everything clear, guys? Is everything clear? Hope everything is clear, guys. Okay, take note of this. Take note of this. Okay, so let's say we have r factorial. Okay, Instead of having 5 factorial, we now have r factorial. How can we write this one? Well, let's also take note that have you seen this 4? Yes. Do you agree that this 4 is the same as 5 minus 1? Do you agree, guys? Well, if you agree, let's proceed. So this can also be written as r, okay, just like we did with 4, right? Yes. R multiplied by what? R multiplied by what? Well, how did we come up with 4? We said 5 minus 1, right? Yes. What about for r? Since we don't know it, it will be r minus 1, right? So that 4 you are seeing there, this same 4 is the same as, in this case whereby we don't know the coefficient, right? So it's the same as r minus 1 factorial. Okay, so what we did here when we had the coefficient is the same thing that we have done here without knowing the coefficient. Okay, so with this now, with this we can actually replace here, okay, so that it should be similar with this one. Okay, so therefore we're going to say k plus 1. Hope you are following, guys. Hope you are following. And you need to be taking note of these. Okay, yeah, plus 1 factorial. So well, hope you are able to see that this part is the same as this one. Okay, so where there is this part, we're going to replace with r factorial. So we're going to have r factorial. Okay, then k minus r plus 1 factorial. Okay, are we together, guys? All right, so hope we are together, guys. Hope we are together. Let's also take note of another thing. Okay, let's say we have 4 plus 1 factorial. Okay, yes guys, so do you agree that this thing can be written as can be written as 4 plus 1 multiplied by 4 factorial? Do you agree, guys? Well, 4 plus 1 is 5, right? 5 what? Factorial. 4 plus 1, that's 5, right? Multiplied by what? Multiplied by 4 factorial. Is this correct, guys? Is this correct, guys? Well, the answer is yes, this is correct. If this is correct, you also have to agree that if we have, let's say, k plus 1 factorial, we can also write it as k plus 1 k plus 1 k factorial. Okay, what we did here is exactly what we've done here. Okay, yes, do you agree, guys? Do you agree? Well, if you do, then let's proceed. Okay, let's proceed, guys. So we are saying that have you seen this part? Have you seen this part? This part is the same as this one. So we are going to replace this part with this one so that we can actually factorize the k. Okay, we are going to do that, right? Yes, but before do that, let's simply, what is the common denominator? Well, the common denominator is simply this. Is simply this. Yes, guys. So the common denominator, guys, okay, is this. Okay, this into this one multiplied by this. Well, simply the same thing. Okay, so if you want, we can substitute from here. If you want to substitute later with this one, so we're going to have k plus 1 factorial. Okay, so as you can see, this is subtraction, right? Yes, I don't know why I put it equal sign. Yes, minus this into this one, then r. All right, guys. Okay, so now let's replace this with this. Well, in this case, we're going to have k plus 1, then we have k factorial, right? Yes, guys. Okay, minus r k factorial. Okay, over what? Over r factorial k minus r plus 1 factorial. Okay, yes. Well, let's factorize. What is common actually? What is common? And for this part and this part, well, what is common is simply k factorial. K factorial is common. Okay, then what are we going to remain when we in other words, I can say remove, right? So when we remove k factorial, we're going to remain with it k plus 1. When we remove this, we're going to remain with r. In this case, that's negative r. What about for this part? Well, for this part, we're going to have this. Okay, so k minus r plus 1. Okay, yes, guys. Right, then okay, yeah, just like that, guys. Okay, just like that, guys. Okay, so we're going to say k factorial, then here we're simply going to remove the brackets. Yeah, and we'll have this factorial okay. Yes, guys, so let's finish from here. Okay, I hope everyone was seeing. All right, so we have this. So as you can see, this can also be rearranged. So it will be k minus r plus 1. That's just one and the same thing. Okay, over what? Over r factorial k minus r plus 1 factorial. Right? Yes. I know what you are thinking. You are like, wow, we've proved, because we are going to cancel this and this, and we are going to remain with k and r, k and r. So we would have proved. Well, that's not the case, because this has got a factorial. This does not have a factorial, meaning that these two things differ. Okay? Yes, they differ, guys. Okay? They differ. Then what are we supposed to do in that case? What are we supposed to do in that case? Well, what we are supposed to do is this. For example, if we have 5 factorial, okay, then here we have this minus r plus 1 factorial. Okay, how do we solve this? Do you agree that this can be written as 5 multiplied by 4 factorial? Well, if you agree, then you should also agree that this can be written as the entire thing the way it is, except the factorial, which will be k minus r plus 1, right? Multiplied by what? Multiplied by what? In this case, from 4, it went to 5. What was the change here? Okay, so here we did 5 minus 1. We got 4, right? Yes. That's the reason why we say that 4 can also be written as 4 is also equivalent to 5 minus 1, right? Yes. Meaning that this next thing, we are going to subtract 1 from this, right? But as you can see, we have got k. So we have got, let me write it here. We have got k minus r plus 1. So we need to subtract 1 from this thing and add this factorial. Okay, just like we did here. From 5 we removed 1, it gave us 4, and put it the factorial. So from here we're going to remove 1. In this case we're going to remain with k minus r, because this will give us a 0, right? And then we put a factorial, so we'll have k minus r factorial. Okay, take note of that, guys. So this thing, so we're going to say k factorial, k minus r plus 1 over r factorial. Okay, so this thing, which is this, is equivalent to this. So k minus r plus 1, okay, multiplied by k minus r factorial. Now here we can say, wow, this one and this one are common. Okay, you can see that these two are common. Okay, fide para knife, right? Yes, sir. And the madam who is seated on the couch. Okay, and even you who is dozing. Yeah, someone is dozing. All right, guys. Okay, that is over. So we have okay, we have this over r factorial. Then we have k minus r factorial. Have you seen this part? Have you seen this thing? Well, this is the general formula for any combination. In other words, have you seen this part? This part, which is the k r, it can be written in this form. Okay, so let's write this in this form. So when we write that in that form, we are going to have k factorial over what? R factorial k minus r factorial. Okay, if you want, you can convert this from this form, you can take it to this form. Okay, so it will be k r, okay, which is equivalent to the left hand side. Hence shown, guys. Hence shown. Okay, hope that was clear, guys. Hope that was clear. Let's move to the next question. All right, we have this question. Show that that is equal to that, right? So we need to show that this thing is equal to this. Well, since we are proving, okay, since we are proving, we are showing, we are going to use what? Well, we know this format. Okay, a plus b. Let's say we have a plus b to the power n. Okay, so hope we are familiar with this formula. So to start with, so this is what we use to find the number of terms, right? Yes. So this will be our first term. Okay, so it will be a n minus 0 b to the power 0 plus yeah, this guys n minus n minus 1. Okay, I was a bit disturbed. Okay, yeah, I think you know the reason. If you don't know, forget about it. All right, so a n minus 2 then 2b b to the power 2. All right. All right, guys, so with that, since we are proving, okay, yeah, since we are proving, we are going to get a as 1 and b as 1, since we are proving, guys. Okay, so therefore our a will be 1, our b 1, then we've got our n there, right? Yes, being equal to what? So them they ignore these parts, right? We are going to do the same. So n plus, then I've got this. Of course, when you continue going, you're going to find yourself with n. Okay, yes. Well, 1 plus 1 is 2. Okay, to the power what? N is equal to this. Hence shown. Hope everything is clear. This is very simple, actually. This is very simple. We have proved, guys. Okay, let's move to the next question. Well, this is our question. So the first part is this one, 2 minus x, yeah, to the power 5. So they're saying find the first 3 terms in the expansion of each of the following. So our interest is on finding the first 3 terms only. So let's find the first 3 terms of this, right? Well, in this case, we're going to use this formula. Okay, yes, we're going to use this formula. This formula will work for this problem. All right, so there is our formula, right? Yes, and yeah, I already wrote this. All right, so we have, so we're going to replace, we'll start replacing. Okay, so a plus b to the power n, simply this part, so 2 minus x to the power 5 being equal to, but we are only interested in the first three terms, which is this one, this, and this, right? So we're going to have n. Okay, what is our n in this case? Well, our n in this case is 5, which is the power, so it will be 5. Then we have, all right guys, so 5 then 0. What is our a? Our a is simply this part, our b is this part, right? So our a is simply 2 in this case. Then n minus 0. What is n? N is 5, right? The power. So 5 minus 0 is simply 5. So it will be 2 to the power 5. Okay. B is this, right? But any number to the power 0 is what? Is 1. Okay. So when we multiply 1 with everything here, nothing will change, right? So we're just going to ignore it. Plus n still remains as 5. Our a still 2. N minus 1. Okay, n is 5, so it will be 5 minus 1. In this case, we'll have a power of 4. Then we also have our b there. Our b is this part, right? So it will be negative x to the power what? To the power 1. Okay, so first, second, one, the third term. So this is our third term. Our n still 5. Well, what is our, so we have 2, yeah. Our a 2, n 5. 5 minus 2, 3. Then our b is negative x, which is this one, to the power 2. Okay, all right guys, all right, we can proceed. What is this? Well, the answer here is simply 1, right? Yeah, here the answer is simply 1. Then you're going to say, what is this? Okay, so what is the answer here, guys? What is the answer? So this is more like 2 multiplied by 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Not until you have this part. I think you know what I'm talking about. 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. So this as the first part will give 32. What about for this one? Well, for this one, 5 5 combination 1. Okay, what will be the answer there? What will be the answer, guys? What will be the answer? Well, 5 combination 1 is simply 5. So here I'm not going to put any sign for now. So if I want, I can put it. Yeah, I can put plus, but yeah, it's still fine. So here we have 5, right? Yes. Multiplied by what? 2 raised to the power 4. That should be what? That should be 16. Okay, is that true, guys? Yeah, it should be 16, and it is 16. Then we also have got negative x. Okay, then we have this part now. Okay, we have that part. So I'm also going to show you how you can come up with the other formula. I don't know if I can say the other formula from this. Okay, which we're going to use when I've got something like this. Okay, because you might get stuck unless you have a calculator. In this case, you don't have to use a calculator. So for this part, like we did already, this is the same as this, right? We already did this, guys. So n factorial over r factorial n minus r factorial. So this will be equal to, so we are now on this part just. So we have got 5 factorial, right, over. So for this question, we are going to use the other formula. Okay, yeah, so that we should avoid this. All right, so what is our r? Our r is simply 2. That will be 2 factorial. Our n is 5 minus r is 2 factorial. So we have 5 factorial. 5 factorial can also be written as 5 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 3 factorial. 2 factorial multiplied by 5 minus 2, that is 3. 3 what? 3 factorial. So 3 and 3 goes, yeah. This multiplied by this, that's 20. 20 divided by 2, that's 10. Okay, so the answer here is simply 10. Right, so here we have 10, but we're going, 10 multiplied by 2 raised to the power 3, that is 8. Then I have this. Okay, so we are therefore going to have you seen this negative? Yes, it will have an effect on everything here, right? So when you multiply, you should get negative 80x. What about here? Well, here when you multiply, as you can see, what does this mean? Well, this part simply means that, or in other words, it can also be written as negative x multiplied by negative x, which will give you x squared. So this part will be positive, right? So therefore multiplying will give you positive 80 x positive 80x squared. Okay, so this is it, guys, for the first part. This is it for the first part. Okay, so let's move to the next part, okay, which is the b part in this case. Okay, so we now move to the b part. So the b part, we have 1 minus 4y 1 minus 5y we have this. Okay, yes, guys. So how do we solve such a problem? Well, since they're asking us to find the first 3 terms of this, we're going to find the first 3 terms of this part. Okay, our interest is on the first 3 terms, so we're going to expand this and get the first 3 terms, multiply it with this part, because this 8 only has an effect on this part, right? Yes. What do I mean by that? Well, before we start solving, let's write down the other formula which we are going to use for this problem? Well, this is the formula. So a plus b to the power n can also be written as what? Well, you need to take note that any number, okay, yeah, when you have a combination of any number and 0, the answer will be 1, right? Yes. Okay, so this part will always give you a 1. Okay, yes. Then what about for this part? Well, this 0 will have no effect. Okay, if your n is 7, it will still remain 7. If your n is 9, it will still remain 9. Therefore, and this part will be 1. Okay, so this will be 1 and this will be 1. The only part which will remain is the a to the power n. So here we'll have a to the power n. Okay, are we together, guys? Well, for this part, when you have 1 and let's say your n is 5, the answer that you get here will still remain 5. When you have 10, the answer will still remain 10. Therefore, here you are going to have n, then you have a n minus 1, okay, then b to the power 1, which can also be written as just b, right? Yes. First term, second. Is this clear? Yeah, I hope so. Then we have this. So for this part, you see, you can just write it like this. Okay, just say n, then you say n minus 1. Okay, then you get everything that is here, which will be a n minus 2 b to the power 2 over what? Over 2 factorial. Okay, well, what about for the other one, for the next one? Well, for the next one, just say n minus 1, then you say n minus 2 a less to what? You get these, right? So n minus 3, then b 3 over what? 3 factorial. Okay, so you need to take note of this formula. Okay, yeah, so it will be going and going and going, right? So you need to also take note of this formula, because it is the one that we are going to use for this problem. Okay, well, let's expand this part first. Okay, so let's expand without wasting time. Let's simply expand. Let's expand, guys. Let's expand. Well, our interest is on the first 3 terms. So we are going to have, so from this part, right, what is our a? Or should I write it down again? Okay, for the sake of peace, let me write it down again. So it will be all right. What is our a? Our a is simply this part, so it will be 1 to the raised to the power 8, which will still remain 1, plus, what about for this part? What is our n? Our n is 8, which is the power. Okay, our a is still 1, so our a is 1. Then n is 8, right? 8 minus 1, 7. 1 raised to the power 7 still remain 1. Well, what about for our b? Our b is negative 5y. Okay, yes, plus, what about for this part? N is 8. N minus 1. N is 8, so 8 minus 1, that is 7. A A is what? A is 1. So 1. N minus 2. N is 8. 8 minus 2 is 6. So 1 raised to the power 6 is still 1. What about for our B? Our B part is this one. So that is negative 5y squared. Yeah, raised to the power 2. 2 factorial. What is 2 factorial, guys? 2 factorial is simply 2 because it is the same as 2 times 1. So I have 2 there. Now you need to take note and you need to be very careful once you reach this point, guys. Okay? You need to be very, very careful. Where exactly? I'll tell you. Okay? You need to be very, very careful. So 1. Then we have got 8 multiplied by 1 multiplied by negative 5. The answer I'm getting is negative 40. Okay. Yes, guys. Are you also getting the same answer? Well, it's great if you are getting the same answer. It's amazing, actually. So here what you can simply say is I'll do 22 is 1, 3 into 8 is 4. Okay. Yes. Then we're going to say 4 multiplied by, let me do it from here. Okay. Alright, so let me do it from here. Okay. So we have 4 multiplied by 7. Okay. 7 multiplied by 4. Okay, that should be 28. Okay. 28 multiplied by what? Then this part now, this is where you are supposed to be very careful. Please take note, guys. Guys, take note on this part. Take note on this part. Okay. So this part can also be written as negative 5y multiplied by negative 5y. So when you multiply, what are you getting? Well, you're supposed to get 25y squared. Okay, which is a positive. So therefore you're going to have 28 multiplied by 25y squared. Okay, when you multiply this and this, what are you getting? Well, me, I'm getting 700. Yeah, you can confirm. Guys. Okay. Yeah. All right, so this is it, guys. Yeah, this is it. So as you can see, this is our problem, right? Yes. And this part is simply from this side. Okay, so we're going to get this and multiply it with this. So we have this part, multiply it with everything here. So minus, yeah, as you can see. Okay, so this multiplied by this. Okay, so now since we've been told to do what, to find the first 3 terms. Okay, so for the first term it will have a power of 0, right? I think you are aware. Second, a power of 1. Third, second, a power of 1, right? Third, a power of 2. Okay, so when you have got some when you have things, okay, and the last part has got a power of 2, it means that we have 3 terms. When we have got a power of 4 it means that we have 5 terms, just like that. So this multiplied by this 1, this multiplied by this negative 40y, this multiplied by this plus 700 y squared. This multiplied by this, as you can see, this multiplied by this, we are going to get negative 4y. Okay, where do we find y? Is on this point, so we are going to put it here. Okay, this multiplied by this, we are going to get positive what? 40 multiplied by 4, positive 160 y squared. Okay, this multiplied by this, I'm going to get a power of 3. So a power of 3 means that I have got 4 terms. So my interest is on 3 terms, so I'm not going to waste time on that one. Therefore, I'm going to add now. I'm going to add. So here, I'm now adding. Okay, I'm now adding. So 1 plus 0 is 1. Okay, negative 40 plus negative 41 is negative 44y. 700 plus 160 is 860 y squared. Okay, therefore this, okay, so therefore this is our answer. This is our final answer for part B, guys. Okay, this is our final answer for part B. Let's now move to part C. Okay, all right. So this is our C. 1 plus 2x. Okay, let's to the power 6. All right. Yes, guys. Okay, so without wasting much of our time, they want 3 terms. Where is the formula? Well, the formula is this one here. This is the formula, right? So we're going to get it, okay, and use it. So a to the power of n so this is our formula, guys. So this is it. So 2 factorial is equal to 2. If you want, you can put factorial, it's still fine. Okay, then it's all about replacing. Okay, it's all about replacing. We know the format, okay, from which this is coming from. Just a reminder. So a plus b to the power n, right? Yes. So what is our a? Have you seen? Our a from this part is 1. What is our n? Have you seen our n? Our n is 6. So 1 raised to the power 6 still remains 1. Plus n is 6. Yes. Our a is 1. Yes. So n is 6. 6 minus 1, it will be 5, which will still give us 1, right? What about for our b? Our b is 2x. Okay. What about for this part? Well, for this part, what is our n? Our n still remains 6. What about for this part? N minus 1. 6 minus 1, 5. A is 1. N minus 2. 6 minus 2, 4. Still remains 1. our b is 2x. 2x what? 2x squared, right? Over 2. Okay, then we'll have 1 plus 12x. Okay, is that correct, guys? Is that correct? Yeah, it should be correct. Yes, it is correct. Why are you saying no? Okay, so here we're going to say, so here will remain with what? 3, right? So it will be 3 multiplied by 5, that will be 15, right? Yes, 15. Then here we'll have, so we're going to have, let me get this. So from this part we are going to have 15 multiplied by what? What about for this part? Well, this part is the same as 2x multiplied by 2x, which will give us 4x squared. Okay, so multiplied by 4x squared. Okay, so 15 multiplied by 4x squared, this will give us 60 x squared. Okay, it will give us 60 x squared. All right, so this is the solution for part C. Yes, that's the solution for part C. Yes, it is the solution for part C, guys. Don't forget to like, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, and share. All right, so this is our D part. As you can see, x minus 2y squared is to the power 4. Okay, yes guys, yes guys. All right, so how do we handle such a problem? How do we handle such a problem, guys? Well, the procedure is just one and the same thing. So we have our formula. Okay, we have our formula. So here is our formula. Two factorial is the same as 2. Okay, then so about replacing, guys. So about replacing. What's our a? Our a is x. What's our n? Our n is 4. Okay, what's our n? Our n is 4. What's our a? Our a is x. Okay, what's our n? Our n is 4. 4 minus 1 is 3. So here we'll have 3. What is our b? What is our b? Our b is this part, right? Which is negative 2y squared. Okay, then plus this part. What is our n? Our n is 4. N minus 1, which is 4 minus 1, 3. Our a is x. N minus 2, 4 minus 2, 2. What is our b? Our b is negative 2y squared. Okay, raised to the power 2. Okay, raised to the power 2, guys. Raised to the power 2. Okay, yes. So x power 4. Then here we multiply everything, right? Yes, here we multiply everything. As you can see, the 2 is already this 2 here is already inside, so there's nothing like multiplying what blah blah blah. So this multiplied by this multiplied by this, we're going to get negative 8x cubed y squared. Is this what you are getting? Is this what you are getting? Just confirm, is this what you are getting? Well, what about for this part now? For this part, what about for this part? So this over what? Over 2, right? Yeah, this 2. Well, for this part, so 2 into 2 it's 1, 2 into 4 it's 2. So 2 multiplied by 3, that will give you a 6. So 6 multiplied by what? This is x squared. Yeah, this will give you x squared. What about for this part? Okay, what about for this part? Well, for this part, you can also write it as negative 2y squared multiplied by negative 2y squared. Okay, and multiplying will yield 4 positive 4y to the power 4. Okay, so this multiplied by 4y to the power 4. Okay, so multiplying will give 24x squared y raised to the power 4. Okay, so this is the solution for part D. Yeah, for part D. Let's quickly move to question number 5, guys. Okay, let's quickly move to question number 5. Question number 5. All right, so this is our question. Of course, they made a mistake here on phrasing the question. It was supposed to say find A, B, and C. Yeah, they said A, B, find, and C. Of course, it's find A, B, and C. Well, you need to take note that what you are being asked to find is simply the coefficients. These are the coefficients. These are the numbers, right? Yes. With that said, we go back to our formula. Okay? We go back to our formula. Where is the formula? Well, it is right here. So when it is in this form, the formula is, what's the formula? What's the formula, guys? What's the formula? Okay, plus what? So this is the first, yes, then we are going to have n minus 1 n right. So 1 2 3 4 1 2 3. What about for the fourth one? N minus 1 n minus 2 a n minus 2 then we're going to have 3 factorial here. Okay, all right. Yeah, this is it, guys. Okay, so with that we can actually proceed. Okay, we can actually proceed. So we're going to use this, right? So for the first part, this one, for the first part, what is our a first from here? So our a is simple 1 raised to the power 7, still 1, plus, what's our n? Our n is 7, our a is 1, Then n minus 1, that's 7 minus 1, 6. 1 to the power 6 still remains 1. Our b is 2y. Yes, guys. Plus our n is 7. 7 minus 1, 7 minus 1, right? 7. N is 7. 7 minus 1, 6. Our a is 1. N minus 2, 7 minus 2, 5. Still remains 1. Our b is 2y. Okay. So 2y raised to the power 2. 2 factorial. 2 factorial is 2. Plus 7. 7 minus 1 is 6. 7 minus 2 is 5. A is 1. Raised to the power 7 minus 2, 5. Still 1. Okay. So this is raised to the power 2, right? Yes. So this is raised to the power 3. Okay. So raised to the power 3 still 1. Yes. What about for the b part? Well, for the b part, we have got 2y raised to the power 3 over what? 3 factorial. So 3 factorial is the same as 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 1. So 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 1 is the same as 3 factorial. Alright. So here we're going to have 1. When we multiply here, me I'm getting 14. Right? Yeah. I don't know what you guys are getting, but this is what I'm getting. Okay. Right. So then what are we for this part? Okay, so I want to get rid of this, right? Yeah. So here I will remain with 3. So it will be 7 multiplied by 3. Okay. So that will be 7 multiplied by 3. Yes. So 7 multiplied by 3. What's the answer? Well, the answer is 21, right? Yes, because this 3 is not up, it's inside, it's here, right? So this multiplied by this, that's 21. 21 multiplied by 1, that's 21. Okay. What are we getting here? What's the value here? Here we are going to get 4y squared. So 21 multiplied by 4y squared. 21 multiplied by 4y squared. Well, the answer, so this is the positive, the answer is 84 y squared. Okay. Are we together, guys? Are we together, guys? Well, let's proceed. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, remaining with the last one. Okay, we are remaining with the last part. So for this part now, what can we do here? Well, 3 multiplied by 2, that's 6. Multiplied by 1, 6. So here we've got 6, and here we've got 6. So 6 into 6, 1. 6 into 6, 1. So 7 multiplied by 1, that's 7. 7 multiplied by 5, that's 35. Okay. So I've got 35. Then here, what are we going to have? Well, here we're going to have 8. From this part, we're going to have 8y cubed. So 8y cubed multiplied by 35. What are you getting? What are you getting, guys? Well, me, I'm getting 208 y cubed. Okay. Then, as you can see, this is from this part, right? And we have this part. Okay. So what do we do now? Well, we just have to equate, right? Yes, you just have to equate. Okay, so this corresponds to this, as you can see, right? This corresponds to this. Okay, all right, are we together, guys? So this one, as you can see, it has got the power of 1. So this corresponds to this one corresponds to this, right? This one corresponds to this. Hope that is clear, guys. Hope that is crystal clear. Okay, hope that is crystal clear. Therefore, since this will correspond to this, therefore, yeah, you can write it in different ways, but therefore my A will be this, which is 14. My B will be this, which is 84. My C will be 280. Okay, hope that is clear, guys. Hope that is clear. Okay, with that said, let's move to the last question for this video. Yeah, but it will be continued. So let's move to question number 6. Well, here we have our question. So yeah, question 6, of course. So write the term indicated in the expansion of each of the following expansions. Okay, number 1, of the one that's to write the fourth term of this. Okay, so they want us to find the fourth term. Well, we should be familiar with this formula by now. Okay, yes, we should be familiar with this formula or these formulas. All right, guys, so the idea is, have you seen these powers, right? Hope you are able to see these powers. Okay, so when you have for example a power of 3, it means that that is the fourth term. Okay, so the term will be ahead. In other words, the term will be ahead of the power by 1. The number of term will be ahead of a power by 1. That's just another way of saying it. Yeah, because when you have a power of 0, that's the first term. When you have a power of 1, that's the second term. When you have a power of 2, that's the third term. When you have a power of 3, that's the fourth term. Okay, so in this case, for this problem, they want us to find the fourth term, right? So we are going to use this part only for the fourth term. For the fifth term, which is for this part, it will be so it will be plus, it will be, this will continue, so it will be n. So have 4 there, and it will be a n minus 4 b to the power 4. So this is for the fifth term. So this is our b part. So for our a part, this is what we are going to use, which is n. This is 3 a n minus 3, right, and b to the power 3. What about for this part? Well, for this part, we're going to use this. Okay, right guys, so um there we have that. Okay, so with that we are we are going to replace. Okay, yes, but I would rather recommend to use this formula. Yeah, I would recommend you to use this formula for these types of problems, but it doesn't matter what you use. Yeah, you still find the answer anyway. Yeah, you still find the answer, right? Yes. So in this case, we can just proceed with these same formulas because we've already written them. Okay. All right. So what's the value of n? The value of n is 7, so it will be 7, then 3 there, multiplied by what's our a? Our a is 1. Okay. So our n is 7. 7 minus 3 to give you 4. 1 to the power 4 will still remain as 1. What about for our b? Our b is 2y to the power 3. Right? Yes. So now you need to find this part. Okay. How do we find this part? Well, this part is the same as this, right? Which is equal to n factorial over r factorial. Okay. Then you have n minus r factorial. Okay. Yes. This is for that. So what is our n? Our n is, for this type of problem, our n is this, which is on top. So that's 7 factorial. R will be 3 factorial multiplied by what? N is 7. 7 minus what? 7 minus 3, that's 4. So 4 factorial. So we're going to have on top there, we're going to have 7 multiplied by 6 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 4 factorial. 3 factorial, yeah, multiplied by 4 factorial. 4 factorial, 4 factorial gone. 3 factorial. 3 factorial is equal to 3 times 2 times 1, which is equal to 6. So 6 and 6 gone. What do we remain with? Well, we're going to remain with 7 multiplied by 5. That will give us a 35. So this part is equal to 35 multiplied by this part. Okay, as you can see, the 3 is outside. Okay, so since that 3 is outside, so it will be 2y multiplied by 2y multiplied by 2y. Okay, 3. So this multiplied by this by this, so 2 by 2, 4. 4 by 2, that's 8 y cubed, right? So it will be 35 multiplied by 8 y to the power 3. Okay, hope we are together, guys. Hope we are together on that one, guys. Hope we are together on that one. Okay, so what's next now? What's next? Well, what's next is so about multiplying, right? Yeah, so let's multiply. What are you getting when you multiply? What are you getting when you multiply, guys? Okay, what are you getting when you multiply? What are you getting?